Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Akampulira Brian, a medical student at Gulu University. In today's video, I will introduce you to Microsoft Excel. Basically, Microsoft Excel is a software program that allows us to work with numbers and data and present it in form of spreadsheets. Spreadsheets is like a big table of rows and columns, but this is on the computer, virtually in the computer, not physically. So it helps us to present that data, to calculate or make calculations, to organize the data, analyze the data as well, and represent it beautifully so that it can make sense to the reader or the viewer or anyone. So I'm going to open Microsoft Excel using my keyboard shortcut, Windows R, and then Excel is already there. I'll select OK, and then Excel is going to open. So if Excel is opening for the very first time, you would meet an interface like this one, and you would really select blank workbook so that you open that. Please do not confuse the workbook or spreadsheet. They both mean the same thing. So this is what we see, and what we are seeing right now is what we call a spreadsheet. So a spreadsheet has very many of these parts, and these are some of the parts that I will be teaching you today, or what I usually like to call the anatomy of a spreadsheet. So we'll begin with the tabs in the upper top of the video, and we have very many different tabs. We have the insert tab, and when you tap the insert tab, you see a different layout of ribbons that are under it. When you tap page layout, you see a different set of ribbons that are under it as well. When you tap the formulas tab, you see a different array of ribbons that are under it as well. So these are some of the things that help us in the editing or inserting of tables, or even reviewing how far we've done the work, or to check errors, or to zoom in and do everything, or if you want to insert something. This is our working space. And in the very topmost, we have what we call a toolbar, a quick access toolbar. This one is manipulable so that you can work it out so that it fits you really. Whatever you usually use, depending on the work that you usually do, you can put it here so that you can access it quickly. So you're seeing something here. Let me put it here so that it's quite visible to each and every one, and let me zoom it in here so that everyone is able to see it. So what is zoomed in here is what we refer to as a cell. So a cell, this is the part where we input the data that we want to use, and each cell has a name, and the name is always reflected in the name box. Or you can also be able to tell the name of a cell by checking on the row where it is, the column where it is, and then the row where it is. So the name of this cell is called D7. So that is the name of this cell. So when you click on a cell, it becomes what we call an active cell. This is what we call an active cell. So when I do select, let's say I want to select a group of cells. I want to select a group of cells together. Let me do this, and I drag them. Oh dear, it's refusing. To bring this down and sideways, down and sideways. Okay, anyway, it has refused, but this is what we call a column, and then when it goes the other way, this is what we call, this is what I would call a row. This is a row of cells. So then this is what I would also want to show you, that when I have something like this, this is what I call a range, or a range of cells, and the range is defined by the beginning cell in the top left corner and the ending cell in the bottom right corner. So this range would be defined by saying this is F7 to L18. This is what we would create a range, or this is what we would refer to as our range if we are to write it down. So we can create multiple sheets by this button here, which has a plus. You create sheet 2, sheet 3, sheet 4, like that. But that's okay. So we have these other buttons down here. This is what we call a horizontal scroll button. You can scroll or move the data sideways in here and there. This is our zoom bar where it zooms in work. So I had used it already, but it zooms in work just essentially. It zooms in on what you're seeing. Then we have a vertical scroll bar. It moves the work up and down, up and work along the vertical axis. So this is the anatomy of a spreadsheet. So we have discussed the anatomy of a spreadsheet. I've named most of the parts that we really will be using when we are going to create a report card. So at this instance, I would say let me go and I save my what? I save my work, because it's the most important part of everything, being able to save your work. So that if you've done something and you want to use it, I will go select desktop. That's where I want it to be saved as. And I have saved it, and this is done. So let's meet on the next video and I show you how to create a report card. So for today's video, thank you for watching, and please feel free to like, share and subscribe if you're finding these videos helpful. Yes, thank you and have a good day.